Welcome back, everyone, to Sip and Spill. This is our weekly show where we invite you to grab a drink, sit down with us, talk about all things life, love, and pop culture. We are your hosts. I'm Anna.
And I'm Nikki.
And we are back with another episode. Nikki and I have had a busy weekend so far. We've had baby showers, milestones, lots of good stuff happening this weekend. But we are excited to sit down and talk about another milestone we're fast approaching, and that is Nikki's first year of being a homeowner.
Time flies.
Time flies. So Nikki has been living on her own, doing the thing here in Highlands for a year now, and I'm going to stop talking about it because it's not me who's lived here for over a year. It's Nikki. So we'll get more into it. Nikki, kick us off. What are we sipping on today? We're not sipping on a classic cocktail as we normally do.
We have Prosecco, which Anna gifted to me a year ago, and it says, pairs well with new beginnings. It was such a thoughtful gift. It's been in my home on the spar cart behind us this whole time. I love to look at it. So yeah, that's what we're sipping on today.
Yep.
What new beginnings it has been. It's been an wild ride. But before we get into that, let's talk about you just got back from a vacation.
I did just get back from vacation. John and I, if you were here on one of our last episodes, John and I went to...
You look refreshed, Anna.
Do I? Because I don't know if I feel refreshed. It was good. It was nice to have some time off. John and I spent the weekend in Cancun at the Hyatt Vivid Grand Island All-Inclusive Resort.
Wow.
That's a mouthful. Lovely resort, great food, weather was great. I can't say enough good things about this place.
What were you sipping on?
Oh, what was I sipping on? Everything from mojitos to margaritas to wine. There was an endless amount of options for us to sip on during this trip, and I took advantage of as much of it as possible. I just love an all-inclusive. You cannot go wrong with an all-inclusive.
Was there a lot of restaurants?
There were 5 all in all. That's good. We were only there for a few days, so we didn't hit all of them. We hit a Mediterranean restaurant, which was very good, a Mexican restaurant, and then we did a French restaurant.
Ooh.
So, I mean, really, again, good food, good breakfast buffet we hit up at one point. The star of the show was the ceviche by the pool. So by the pool, they had 3 different lunch restaurants, if you will. You know, one was a taco truck, one was like a burger hut, and the other was this ceviche stand. And I was hitting that up every afternoon, sitting by the pool. It was so lately. What I've started to do, and I got inspired to do this by our friend Christina because I know she does this for her trips. She joins all of the Facebook groups for all of the resorts and places she's going to. And so I started doing that as well.
You get it inside of all the secrets.
All the secrets, get all the tips,
Okay.
What you need to know about going to these places. And so I did join a Facebook group for this particular resort. And everybody raved about the ceviche. They took pictures of the ceviche. They said, if you're going to go, you got to get the ceviche.
It's such a refreshing dish, especially by the beach. Ugh.
It was perfect.
What kind of ceviche was it?
So you could basically customize it. They had options of shrimp, octopus, and fish. I don't know what kind of fish, probably like a grouper. So normally I would just get the shrimp and the octopus. He would put a little pico de gallo in there, a little lime juice, serve it with a side of chips and some salsa verde. Beautiful. It was beautiful. John's not a fish eater, aside from a galamad, maybe once in a while some shrimp. But so I had it all to myself, which was good. I didn't have to share it with him.
When I went to Bahamas, they had ceviche, but it was conch ceviche.
What's conch?
Conch is a conch shell.
Oh.
But the real pronunciation of a conch shell or conch is conch.
Huh.
Conch. Yep. So,
Was it good?
It was amazing.
Really?
They took it right out of the shell, right in front of us.
Oh.
And
Talk about fresh.
super fresh. They just
fresh.
grabbed the shell, took it out.
My God.
Chopped it up. Like you said, they put the onions and oh my God, it was like pico de gallo and it was so fresh.
Wow.
Mango. They chopped up mango in there.
That sounds good.
Really, really good. We went to another restaurant too, actually, and they had conch fritters. Those were really good too.
Now, I feel like I've heard of conch fritters, but really now it's conch
When you're in
fritters.
Bahamas, you better say conch or
Conch
they will come
fritters.
for you.
I feel like I've heard of those, but I never actually tried them. So good to
it's
know
really
that they're good.
Fun fact, which I learned, is conch is an aphrodisiac.
Oh.
So I was with my friend's family, so there was nothing happening, nothing going on.
Nothing going on in
Not
that
for me.
department.
But yeah. So
All
the more you know.
All right. And now we're talking about aphrodisiacs. I'm surprised they didn't, at least from what I saw, there were not really any oysters on the menu down at the resort. I was a little surprised by that.
I can't do oysters.
I love an oyster.
I cannot do oysters.
I love an
will
oyster.
eat anything. I cannot get that sucker down. It literally tastes like boogers in the back of my throat, and I literally had to get it back up and spit it out.
I'm not texture doesn't matter to me.
Okay.
For most foods, I'm really not picky about texture, but I understand what you're saying because they are very
And people
slimy.
are like, oh, just put some lemon juice, just put some hot sauce, and I'm like, if I have to doctor it up that much, it's not worth it for me.
I mean, sure. That's not a ton of effort to go and eat an oyster, Nikki. A little lemon juice.
The hot sauce.
Yeah. I like them. Don't get to have them too often, but when I do, I always enjoy a nice plate of oysters. The problem is they're so expensive. It's like you go, especially around here, to a restaurant and get a half dozen or a dozen oysters, and it's easily could cost you $20-$30, and it's for what? These little tiny things that you slurp down in a second. So it's definitely a luxury.
Right.
Once in a while, treat yourself to it.
Have you ever had caviar?
No, that's
No
when
caviar bumps for Anna?
No, that's when I am not really interested in trying.
Okay.
Surprisingly,
It looks like I would try it. It looks good.
I don't know, something about fish eggs.
Yeah.
On a cracker doesn't sound appealing to me.
I like the red fish eggs that they put on top of sushi. I love those.
Oh, the masago? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
Or
That's
roe. Isn't it called roe too? Maybe?
We might be talking about different things.
Maybe two different fish eggs.
There is the little tiny red balls, which I thought was masago.
Okay.
The roe looks a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
So maybe I have not had that before. We're Googling the differences between all of these things for those listening.
Whatever. Fish eggs.
But masago is a type of fish roe.
Oh, okay. So there's different.
So, yeah, I guess there's different types.
The more you know.
The more you know. We're learning.
All
We're
right.
learning all about this. I am bummed that we didn't get to go to the sushi restaurant that was on the property because apparently it was really good. And I looked at their menu and, oh my God, it
Why
looked to
didn't you
die
go?
for. The one gripe I would say about this place, and this is, I feel like a lot of all-inclusives do this, you had to sign on. You could use their app for pretty much everything, to call room service, to get new sheets and towels, whatever you needed. You also could use it to book your dinner reservations every day. The problem was they only opened dinner reservations at 9 a.m. and it's first come, first serve. If you don't get a dinner reservation at that point, you're kind of screwed.
Do they open for lunch?
They don't open for lunch.
Okay.
So it's after that, you just have to try and go walk in, see if you can get a table. But, depending, again, we were there during a weekend. It was a holiday weekend. So it wasn't super packed, but it seemed like the restaurants were getting busy. So we didn't even try that last night to get there. We just we just did the French restaurant because we managed to get a reservation for there, which was still good. But I really did want to try the Japanese restaurant while we were there. You know, I love a good plate of sushi. But
Same. And I have to say, New York has the best sushi.
oh yes,
Jersey, forget it. It's expensive.
it is.
Tastes like a fish tank. It's a no for me. I will no longer be getting sushi in Jersey.
Well, I have some good places by me that I like, but I agree with you, they're expensive. I mean, I could easily spend $30 on a few rolls and like edamame for myself when I order at home.
There's a place that I discovered near me. Now that I'm working in Midtown East, and I cannot find the name of it right now. I don't even remember what the name was, but I know exactly where it is. And it's like a grab and go, but it's like an actual, like, I would say like half like Japanese market where you can get like anything. They even have like skincare in there.
Ooh, that's nice.
And then like grab and go of like everything.
No.
I will find it. But
All right.
so good, so fresh every day. And I made the mistake of going exactly during my lunch at 1 o'clock, and the line was wrapped.
Yeah,
but they're
everybody-
like a well-oiled machine. Like they get you, like you're in and out.
Oh,
like
that's good.
So I was kind of like freaking out. I was like, oh, I don't know what I want. But now I just go in, I grab my stuff, and I'm out. Super
Nice.
good, super fresh. And that like, I used to like bring lunch to work, and like first off, my bag is so like not that small, but it's a backpack. I can't really fit as much in there with my laptop and my water and everything, my wallet. So now I'm like, actually, I look forward to getting out there and going to lunch.
Gives you a reason to take a walk and get some fresh air.
Especially now the weather seems to be warming up.
Let's hope so. It's the first day in quite a while. It hasn't been 20 degrees outside. So after this, Nikki and I will be taking advantage of it, going for a nice long run.
How many days till Marathon?
God, it's days. I'm not sure. We're at I would say 7 weeks now.
7 weeks
until we're there.
All right.
And
I'm excited.
I am too, but I'm scared still.
No.
I just keep thinking that I haven't trained enough. So we really gotta lock in these next few weeks and
I'm just
get out there.
excited about the vibes. Like I'm
The
all
vibes
about
will be good.
the vibes. Like I don't care. Like if I have to walk a few miles, all about the vibes.
Yeah. No, 100%.
To say that you did a half marathon or an actual marathon, like no, you don't have the time tattooed on your forehead.
It's true.
It's all about the vibes. You did it.
Very true.
You accomplished.
We're gonna be with our friends.
Yes.
We're gonna have everyone coming to cheer us on.
Dolly better come. Dolly, you hear me? I need that girl at the finish line. Tomorrow's her birthday.
She'll be there. Tomorrow's her birthday. It's Dolly's first birthday.
Oh, she just poked her head up.
Oh.
Dolly is my pup. Everybody already knows. I don't even have to
She's been on the
introduce her.
pod many times.
Yes. Yorkie Poo, the love of my life. So I guess now we can get into talking about the home ownership
Let's do it.
and this big adventure.
Let's do it.
Dolly came into my life. Every time I say her name, she looks over. I see the little whites of her eye. She's all black, and I just see the little whites of her eye. So she came into my life when I think it was how long after did we pick her up? We picked her up in April, right?
Yeah.
So I came here. I March 1st is going to be a year. I signed the mortgage. I signed the papers.
You got a whole ass mortgage, my girl.
Signed the papers for the mortgage. So yeah, I would say I was very excited. Did not realize, for somebody that hates being alone, how lonely it would be coming home every day from work to an empty house. Nobody's looking for me here. So I just needed a companion, and I was teetering on the idea, should I get a dog? Should I not get a dog? And I was looking every day, and none of the dogs really spoke to me. And then all of a sudden I seen this little cute face, and I was like, her name was Dolly, and I was like, oh my God. Like I just, like if I could picture myself like with this pup, like I imagined everything. I was like, I could imagine her here. Like I just imagined it all.
I remember when you texted me the link to Dolly on the breeder website.
Yes.
And I I admittedly told Nikki, like, maybe you should think about it. Maybe you should wait a little bit, get more settled into your home before you bring a dog into it and have that responsibility. But for once, I'm glad you didn't listen to me, Nikki. For once, I'm glad.
I always take Anna's advice, always. And my mom was telling me, I don't think it's a good time. But she is the best decision I ever made.
We love
house
the Rita.
Is the best decision I ever made. I am super, super happy, over the moon. I cannot believe she turns 1 tomorrow. And with this new journey of mine, she definitely introduced me to a lot of people. As I was taking her on walks and stuff, I got really friendly with the neighbors. And then they have pups, they get to play, so she just made me really social as well. She just forced me to be social, forced me to be regimented. There's no sleeping in when you have a puppy.
No,
you gotta be up and out. We go for walks together, so she really got me adventuring around the great neighborhood of Highlands.
She's the queen of the castle.
She is Everybody loves Dolly.
Oh, well, I love her. Love that little pup. And she's being extra good today, so I love her even more.
She is being good, yes. We took a walk today before. Got to get her tired. Otherwise, she wants to be present on the pod. She has a lot to say.
She does.
Most of the time.
She does. She'll get her time. She'll get her time. But today's about Nikki. Today is about Nikki's first time being a homeowner and everything that has come with this journey, including Dolly. But, we're going to get into it a little more. I'm going to ask Nikki a little bit more about her homeowner journey, homeowner life. And let's first get into what the biggest surprise about being a homeowner has been for you, Nikki.
The biggest surprise, I would say, is the resiliency and the strength that I've gained owning this home.
Yeah.
You think that it's going to be so easy and you think everything's just going to fall into place and everything's going to work out, but every day is an adventure.
Yes.
Things break. Things go wrong. But then with all the other days, there's tons of blessings. So I would say I definitely gained a lot of strength and resiliency, and even strength in being alone and finding myself and the soul searching that I was able to do. I just imagined myself moving here and figuring it all out. So I would say that has been huge for me. I feel like I could do anything now.
Yeah.
Because you just have, it's a lot.
You've learned how to navigate having to do things on your own.
Right.
I think when
you're a little bit, when you're living at home, you're a little bit codependent.
Right.
I can say I am codependent on people. I do ask for help if I need help, but now it's just you kind of just have to figure it out on your own, or ask ChatGPT.
Yes, as we learned, ChatGPT can not only help you with a million things, but can also help you run a home efficiently.
Any questions I have, I'm what's going on here?
I mean, listen, we all need help once in a while, especially when you are taking care of your own place. You need help, so there's no reason not to ask for help. And if you can ask an AI robot for help, all the more power to you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I agree. I think you really have grown so much in this last year. What has been your favorite memory in this home in the last year? Let's get into some of the good. Yes, it's hard for sure, but you've had good moments here. What would you say has been your favorite moment here so far?
I would say the housewarming party that we had.
It was fun.
That was so fun. It was Cinco de Nikki. It was on Cinco de Mayo. And all my friends were here. My family came. And it was just super fun. I was this is so surreal. My favorite people are standing in a home that I purchased. And everybody was just hanging around, laughing, talking. We had some card games going. And
Dolly was just a baby.
Yes, Dolly was a little baby. She fit in the palm of my hand. She only grew a little bit since then, just a little bit.
She's still a baby.
So yeah, I would say that. And also, most recently, Valentine's Day.
Oh, okay.
I woke up, I went to the gym, and I said, you know what? I'm going to take my ass to Whole Foods.
All right.
I'm going to buy myself flowers.
Nice.
I bought myself lobster mac and cheese.
Ooh, love.
I bought myself some things for a little charcuterie board.
Oh, nice.
Brie cheese, yes.
As you should.
And chocolate covered strawberries. And I think that was the first time that I was not sad about not having a Valentine. I was not sad about being home with Dolly.
Right.
On Valentine's Day. It was just such a nice day and night that I just really, really enjoyed my home. And I feel like it's taken almost a full year, but I truly, truly, truly enjoy being alone here with Dolly in the comfort of my own home, just relaxing. I put on Summer House.
Nice.
I watched some Summer House, and it was just very chill.
I love
and
that.
wholesome.
I love that. I love a wholesome night in, and even better that.
I bet you guys thought I was going to say some cheeks were clapping or something. No cheeks were clapping in this home.
Thanks for making sure we knew that, Nikki. Thanks for
because I
covering
said
up on that.
Valentine's Day, and Anna's was like, who were you here with? It was just me and Dolly.
That's not where my mind went.
The people's mind probably went there.
The people's mind probably went there. You nasties. But no, that's great. That's great that you made yourself a nice night in with the pup. Sounds very relaxing. Why not? I feel like, not speaking about myself in particular, but I feel like so many times as women, we envision what we want our Valentine's Day to look like when we're with a man.
Yeah, of course. And I was always disappointed.
Exactly. We always want the man to plan a nice dinner and bring flowers and chocolate and all of the things, and you want it to be such a wonderful romantic evening. And 9 out of 10 times, it's like they just woke up and realized it was Valentine's Day that day. Like, there's no reservation, there's no gift. Not that we need gifts, but there's no gifts, like all this stuff. And it's like, you created what you wanted for yourself on that day, and I think that's amazing. I think that's
like
great.
I'm going to pick out what flowers I want today.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick out what chocolate I want.
Yeah, you had a nice meal.
Yep.
You sat with dolls. You did what you wanted to do. Love that.
So
that's a nice tradition to keep up. Love. All right. Well, let's also get into, what about owning a home has been both easy and difficult, more so than you expected when you first bought the place?
Easy, I would say decorating.
Oh, yeah.
I knew exactly how I wanted this place to look, and I can say 100%. Like, I didn't even know, like, I didn't know where I was moving. I didn't know what I was moving into. And I just knew exactly how I wanted it to look. And when I first moved into this place, the guy that owns the home was a fisherman. So he was from Long Island, and this was like kind of his, I guess, getaway to go fishing. And he hung on all of the walls replicas of fish that he caught, and some of the fish were like he caught in like Florida, but he got replicas made, so they were all over the walls, and fishing poles, and like it was craziness. So like coming in here, anybody would not like be able to visualize like what the heck they want their home to like look like, but I had it in my mind the whole entire time exactly how I wanted this to look. And to this day, I sit in awe because this is exactly how I wanted it to look. The couch, like the picture that I have hung behind the couch, like the lights, the light fixtures, the cabinets, like everything is exactly how I want it to look. The bedroom, the rug. I have like a little area rug that's got like some gold in it. So it was so funny when I first moved here. My mom was like, "You should put like a little gold in, like gold handles on the cabinets." And I was like, no, absolutely not. And now that I
Everything's
tell
gold.
you everything, there's gold touches to everything, even the rug. And I love it so much. It just adds that like feminine touch.
Yeah.
So I would say that is easy, especially going to Home Goods.
Oh,
I have to
forget
like
it.
close my eyes, especially now that we're getting into the warmer months. They're putting out the nautical stuff, and I have to close my eyes when I walk past it because I will just buy everything.
Home Goods does a great job of showing you what you need when you walk in. It's like Target. You don't need a list going into Home Goods. It's just you'll see it and you'll pick it up and you'll find a place for it.
It's so therapeutic.
It is. I love a good Home Goods trip. I really do. But it's a killer.
It's expensive.
It's a killer for sure.
Well, it's not expensive. It's an expense. Like
Yeah.
the more I have to go in there at least once a week.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. Like the deals are so good. Like you'll pick something up. Like,
Right.
oh my God, this is great.
Right.
You buy it,
Right.
and then it adds up, and you're like, holy shit. And I have the credit card. They ask you every time you go in there, would you like to open up a credit card? So I gave in.
I refuse that credit card.
Oh no, I gave in, and yeah.
The one store credit card I have is the JCPenney credit card. And I'm pretty sure half of the JCPenney's in the country have closed by now.
I was going to say, I have not heard JCPenney in a long time.
I don't even know why I got it. I think I just felt well, at the time I was shopping a lot at JCPenney. Like I was always getting my jeans, my workout clothes, my shoes. I was a JCPenney hoe back in the day. Now, I can't remember the last time I set foot in that store. Like probably
I was going to ask if there's any near you.
There's one in the Freehold Mall by me, and that's where my sister worked as a hairdresser for a period of time. So occasionally when she would do my hair a couple times, I would go in there and browse, but like not pick anything up anymore. So I haven't used that credit card in years. You can't close it. There's no point in closing credit cards.
No.
So
I just let it sit.
And when they eventually go out of business, which they probably will at some point, they'll take the card with them.
Yes. That's a tip that my mom and my dad taught me. It's like, don't close credit cards. Like, you just leave them open and you don't use them if you don't want them anymore. Because if you close it, it's going to affect your credit score.
Yep.
Pro tip. I would say the challenging part of owning a home is I do like to do everything on my own. And I'm not good at hanging up things. I cannot hang up.
It's hard.
A picture.
It's hard.
It's hard. You need multiple people.
Yeah.
Putting things together, I hate. I cannot put anything together. I hate reading instructions. Like, I just want to know how to do it and have it already done. And I remember I have a fireplace TV stand and it got delivered. This box was freaking huge.
I remember.
And I had to get it in here by myself. And I was just like, oh my God. Like, this is crazy. Like, literally, like, there were things that I had to do like that by myself that I'm, like, struggling. And I'm like, this is insane. And then putting it together by myself. And I feel like things like that, and if, like, something breaks or something goes wrong, it's like I can't easily, like, just do it and put it together. When I first moved here, I had a few things that, like, I needed to be done. So I like hired a handyman, like gave them a list of this stuff. It was literally like hang towel bar, put shower curtain rod up, change out faucet, and change out like the light fixture. $600 I was charged without like material.
Right.
Like I provided all the material.
Right.
And I'm like, what the hell? To put in, like, I changed everything to gold, thanks to my mom. And the shower head, like the whole, everything in there, I changed to gold, and $1,400 later. And I'm just like, oh my God. And it could be that I'm a woman that they think like, oh, she can't do it and she doesn't know how much it's supposed to be.
Right.
Let's just charge her this. It could be the area that I live in. Sometimes it does go like dependent on the area.
Sure.
Another thing I'd say is things break.
Oh, yeah.
Things go wrong. As I felt like I finally got my feet under me when I was here, and then all of a sudden I'm walking and I had like new floors put in, and all of a sudden I hear like psh, 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 as I'm stepping, and I'm like, is there water under here? And water was seeping up from under my floors. I call my mom. I'm like, I don't know what, there's water. Like, I literally just thought it was coming up from underneath, like, the ground. Like, maybe it rained, and I don't know.
Right.
She was like, check under, like, the hot water heater, because that's underneath my countertops in my kitchen. And there was just a pile of water around it. She's like, it's broken. Get the hot water heater replaced. It was like $2,100. So it's an expense, and you have to be able to, like, just shell out money, like, whenever. So you do have to have that extra cushion. But I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
That's it. That's all that matters. You get through it. Money comes and goes.
Yes.
You know, you have a good job. You can make these things work. It's not fun, but you can do it for sure. It's all that matters. All right. Well, what do you think has changed about your daily life since moving in here? Like, you know, forget the instances that may come up once in a while. Like, on the daily, what's new for you?
I would say my routine. I think, like, especially, like, having Dolly, we have to wake up, start the day. Like, there's no sleeping in. I think also, like, going for runs, going for walks, getting to, like, know the area. And that's exactly, like, I wanted to live by the water so I can go running by the water and all this stuff. And, you know, for a few months, I wasn't really doing that. Like, I got this place because I wanted to do the soul searching, and I wanted to change my daily routine of just, like, sitting around and being miserable all the time and not doing anything. So, and I remember I was talking to somebody, and I was like, oh, like I wanted to do this, I wanted to do that. And they're like, well, you haven't done any of it. And I was like, holy fuck, I have not done any of it.
They wasted no time telling you that.
Yes. And I was like, damn. So it kind of, like, snapped me back into reality and was like, you gotta like, you gotta start, you know, you gotta, like, do what you came here to do.
Right.
And was soul searching, finding myself. I wanted to go on runs and go out into, like, the community and meet new people. So that's another important thing, is, like, when you do make these big moves, like, you have to, like, get involved and meet people. Like, I joined some gyms around here where I was able to build that sense of community and go out and meet people, even, like, you know, on a daily, going for walks and going to the store. Like, you meet people. So yeah, I would say that. I don't have mommy to cook for me anymore. I cook all of my meals. Sometimes I will ask her, I'm like, can you please make this and make a lot of it so I could have leftovers, and, like, I'll go over and eat with them and stuff. But yeah, like, every day you just, like, there's things that, like, I didn't have to think about. They were already, like, food shopping, like, everything was already set up for me. And that's another thing. Like, these are all things that you have to do and think about. Like, what am I making for dinner tonight? And it's like, holy fuck, you know? Like, I was just very dependent.
That in and of itself is a chore.
Yeah, I was very dependent on my Italian mother cooking every meal.
Sure. Why not?
Every night she would have something prepared. So it's an expense too. You know, you're shelling out all this money, and if you don't want to cook, you're buying, you know, nice dinner. So,
what's your favorite thing to cook? What's your top recipe this year?
I would say risotto.
Ooh.
When I first moved here, I was like on a risotto kick. Like, it was just super easy to, like, throw together, and, like, I wanted to have everybody over. So I was like, oh, like, I'll make you, like, I love chicken cutlets, so I'll make, like, chicken cutlets with, like, a side of risotto. I feel like risotto can be paired with, like, any dish.
Oh, yes.
Like, oh, I'll make risotto. And everybody's like, oh my God. Like, that was the one meal that, like, I would always order out because, like, my mom never made it.
Yeah.
And then I decided to make it, and I was like, holy shit, this is so easy to make. It is, I will never order it out again because of how easy it is to make. Like, if I want it, I will make it. So I would definitely say that was, like, my specialty moving in. And now, like, we're on this running journey. I've been really healthy with, like, the veggies and the salads and things like that. But, yeah. that was my dish when I first moved in.
Lovely, lovely. Nikki's made me a wonderful meal or two from time to time here as well. I can attest to her cooking. It's wonderful.
Yeah, and
it's never been bad.
We had the chicken spadinis I made.
Yes, those were really good.
Yeah, you just take the chicken, you put provolone cheese or any cheese that you want, and you put prosciutto in and you roll them up, or ham, and you put some gravy on top.
Yes, those were good.
So that's like a good staple too. Like chicken, you can just pair it with anything or make it with anything.
She made me a good chili once that I always think about.
Oh my God. I love chili.
That was good chili.
You know what? That's another thing. That is like, I feel like that's my staple too, is like, because you can make so much of it and it will last you. And like, I can have a quesadilla. I could have a burrito. I could put it on top of a salad. I could make a burrito bowl. It's just, I like variety.
It's versatile for sure.
Exactly. Like, I don't want to be eating the same thing every single day, but like different variations of the same thing. That's good for me.
Yeah.
So like same thing with the chicken cutlets. I'll make like a quesadilla or I'll make like a chicken club sandwich. Like the other day I made got sourdough, I got some aioli like that I got at Home Goods. Chipotle mayo aioli. Put the chicken on it. Lettuce, tomato, bacon, toasted it. It tasted like a diner. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I'm
Maybe
like,
we'll post this recipe on the Instagram for the followers.
Yes. Because, you know, like sometimes I'm just like, I don't like you go and you buy all this food because you're running around and all this stuff. And like, I'm just like, I could make all of this stuff. So you save money.
Love it. Love it. Yum, yum. All right. What's your favorite spot in the house? Where do you feel most at peace in this home?
I would say, this is a tough one. Oh my God. I'll tell you, like, I love my room because I love my bed.
Yes.
And like, it's just very cozy in there. And I just love like the decor that I set up back there. And then I love the living room because I have like the fireplace and that's
also very cozy
as well. I guess I have 3, which is basically the whole house.
All right.
And then I would say here at this kitchen table because like sometimes I won't, like I have my desk set up in my room, but like sometimes I don't want to work back there because Dolly's running around. So I'll set up right here and like I have the view of the water in front of me. And then to the right of me, I have the view of, there's a park, like like
the woods.
Yeah. Hartshorn Woods, it's called. So I have like the view of that. And sometimes I'll be sitting here working and all of a sudden here come up deer.
Oh, yeah.
So there's deer that just like poke their like head and I'm just like looking at them and taking in the water. When it snows, all the trees get covered with the snow and I'm just like, this is not real. Like it really does feel like a fantasy sometimes. Like I'm not one, Anna, to make decisions. Like I could never make a decision. I'm very wishy-washy on what I want to do. And this is the one thing that I knew no matter what, I could not get out of my head. I remember I used to watch Selling Sunset all the time. Yeah. And I was just like, holy shit. Like I was on a mission and I'm like, I want this. Like this is what I want. And so now I'm just like, I haven't watched it since. Like I was so obsessed because I just wanted like a piece of property. I wanted to own a house that like now, like I remember I used to get so frustrated after watching it because I'm like, fuck, like I really wish like I could have that. I really wish. And like, obviously I don't have a mansion, but just like the things that I took from that I want, like I have. And
it's yours. That's what you wanted at the end of the day, was something that was yours.
Right.
So, I mean, it's a beautiful space. Love it. Love the view.
Thank you.
Love the deer that come around here every once in a while.
I feel like I'm Snow White. I'm like, hey, how are you? It's like the same ones, and then they have babies, and then the babies come up. Super cute. So I would say, there's multiple areas here that are just so cozy to me, and I love. And I think the people, you guys love it. My friends love it.
Oh, yeah.
I love having everybody over, having them hang around, sleep over, have dinner. We'll go out. Everybody sleeps over here. Like, I want everybody to feel welcome here. Like, my home is your home. So it's it's always open for anybody to come.
Yes. Thank you for that as well. Much appreciate the hospitality. I've spent many a weekends here since Nikki moved in.
And that was another thing. I was very afraid. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be so lonely. Nobody's going to come. It's so far. Like, but I've been very blessed with everybody being able to make it out here and come here. I mean, it's really not that far.
No.
But it's probably like a little less than an hour for everybody to get here from where you live and from Staten Island. But everybody finds their way, and I'm super excited for this summer.
Yes.
Gonna have another great summer. I think now that I'm more familiar with people and the places around here, it's just gonna be awesome.
Yes. Can't wait. All right. Let's get through a couple more. We'll get through a couple more. And then we've got a fun game to play with Nikki. What advice would you give to someone who's about to buy their first home? Now that you have gone through the process yourself, what would you tell others to be aware of?
I would say do the research, which is like, obviously everybody probably knows that except me. I did not research. I just said
I think a lot of people don't research before they get into things like this.
I was just like, oh, like I want to buy a home that's on the water. And like, I didn't know, like, I knew the area a little bit because I bartended in the area, like in Highlands, but I didn't know, like, oh, there's a bridge that takes you to Seabright, and then to the left of that is Sandy Hook. Like, never been to Sandy Hook. I had no idea, like, anything about it. So, like, do the research.
Yeah.
But, like, I mean, it was really, like, fascinating and surprising coming here. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, I have this here. I have that here. Like, Donovan's. We love Donovan's.
Yes, love Donovan's.
5 minutes away. Like, did not know that. Had no idea. So, yeah, definitely do the research. Like, the Hartshorn Woods is next to me. So, like, didn't even know that. Never heard of Hartshorn Woods. It's, like, very historical. So, definitely familiarize yourself, like go like to dinners and go grab drinks and like see, like learn about the people and the culture and like everything. So I would say that. And then like another piece of advice I would give is give yourself grace. No matter what, like every day is not going to be easy. Like there are definitely ups and downs. Like I remember I was like crying to my parents when I first moved here and I was like, what did I do? What did I do? And again, it's scary. Like immediately, like if I make a decision, like, and I'm like, oh my God, it's not going the way I want it to go. Like I'll like think about pulling out of it. So I was like, oh my God, this is like, of course my parents were like, oh, you can move back home. Like, don't worry. Like, no, like I have to figure this out. Like I will get through it. And you know, this does feel like a home now. Like I would say the first couple months sleeping here, I was like, oh my God, it did not feel like a home. I'll never forget the first night I slept here. It was like literally the first night I slept here. I was by myself, obviously. Like, my mom offered to like sleep here with me. I was like, no, like it's fine. It just felt so strange. Yeah. It did not feel like my place. Right. But now, again, like the touches and I think the people that come in here and like just the energy, the aura, like everything just feels exactly how it's supposed to be. Like this is my home. My neighbors are amazing. I feel so safe with all of my neighbors around me. Everybody was just so warm and welcoming and like anything that I need at all, like they're always there. They're a phone call or a text away. So give yourself grace to navigate each day, navigate through the challenges. Like it's never going to be easy, but I've had so many good days, and the good days definitely outweigh the little bad hiccups that happen.
Yeah. I think the neighbors part is important for a lot of people to consider when they're thinking of getting their first home. Even if you're just going to like rent something, because I feel like people don't think about the fact that like, say you had bought a detached home rather than this place, it really would just be you there. And like, yeah, you'd have neighbors on like your sides, across the street maybe, but like, I feel like here you're kind of just so much closer to people physically, and that helps you become closer to them in terms of developing friendships and relationships and all of that. And the safety aspect too. I feel like, you know, I would feel at peace too, knowing that, all right, there's people above me, there's people next to me, there's people across, even all the way down there that I know. Like, you know, I think that goes, the same thing goes for people who are considering, like, oh, do I, like, buy a house or do I rent an apartment? Like, some people prefer the renting aspect and being in, like, an apartment complex for that reason too, because of that safety concern, because you gotta think about those things when you're living on your own. And you know, Dolly's great, but she's not a killer, I wouldn't say.
She does alert me. Any little thing that she hears, she's on guard.
Yeah.
But
so,
yes,
they're all lovely people. I've met many of them. They're wonderful. All right, let's go to one more. Do you see yourself staying here for a very long time, or what do you think? Do you think maybe at some point you'll make another move? What do you see for yourself in the future after being here for a little bit?
So I always wanted passive income. Obviously, everybody, that's a dream for everybody. And I was like, okay, let's do, so like, I'll rent out, I'll buy a place and I'll like rent it out, or I'll Airbnb it. And I was looking at places and then I was like, holy shit, like if I could afford this, like why can't I just do it for myself? And, you know, maybe eventually down the line, if I want to Airbnb it, I can do it. So I think this is a prime location.
Yeah.
It's not big enough for a family. So I would not be able to raise a family here, which is obviously the next step for me and a dream of mine. So I would imagine this to be a sort of getaway for myself, and just maybe a summer place to go to, maybe rent it out in the winter or vice versa. And I will never sell it. I always want to keep this, again, because of the location being so close to the water. It's a walk to the beach.
Yep.
So I think everything is prime to be a rental, but for now I'm going to enjoy every single second that I have in here and take it all in. But eventually I think when I do have a family, this may be a starter for the first couple years, but eventually I will be moving on and
hightailing it out of here.
But this will always be somewhere that I can go to.
Yeah. No, I think that's smart. I think that's important as we're getting older, to think about how we can create generational wealth.
Yes.
You know, you want to have some sort of income not tied to your full-time job. You know, this economy's shit, so we need other streams of income, and I think property is one of the smartest things you can do to do that. So I'm all for it. And yeah, I mean, again, I'm endlessly proud of you for doing this last year.
Thank you.
I know it's been hard. I know there's been a lot of tough moments, but I think you've gotten through it with a lot of grace. You have given yourself grace. You may not think it, but you've given yourself grace, and you've overcome a lot over the last year, and you really did do it on your own. Like, yes, people help you along the way, but I do feel like you've stood on your own a lot this year, and I think it's been extremely great for your personal growth, for your well-being. I just feel like there's been a big change in you over the last year since getting this place, and I think this was a very good decision. I think you've made a nice home for yourself here, a nice community for yourself. Again, people are lovely around here. Big fan of Highlands, and what it has done for you. So very, very happy.
Thank you. Thank you. That was very sweet.
Oh,
Thank
sure.
you.
And once again, thanks for letting me crash on the couch every weekend. All right, before we go, we're going to play a game. We're going to have a little fun. Not that this hasn't been fun, but we're going to have more fun. We're playing a game called Fix It or Flip It. And I'm going to give Nikki a few scenarios. Some of these she may feel even more closer to home than usual. And I'm going to ask if she would fix it, which goes without saying, you fix the problem, or if she'd flip it, aka she gets her running shoes on and she gets out of here. Sells the place, dips, never to be seen again. So let's start off with number 1. So Nikki, let's say the house came with a hidden panic room, but it only locks from the outside. Do you renovate it to make it useful, or do you sell it before you get trapped in there forever? Which you wouldn't, because eventually me would probably come find you.
I would have to sell.
Yeah, that's fair.
The thought of being in a trapped, enclosed, tiny space is not for me.
Yeah. I don't even know why you would put something like that in a home, but there's crazy people out there that do, so I don't blame you. Get out of there. All right, this one I thought was funny. So, you love to cook, but what would you think if every time you turned on the oven, your doorbell would ring? And let me just say, Nikki doesn't have the classic ding dong
I don't.
doorbell.
It's literally scary. It scares me every time.
The dog jumps every time
she hears it. God, she jumps, she screams.
Would you call an electrician and fix it, or are you dipping, leaving this chaos behind?
I would call an electrician, fix the problem. Probably cost me about $1,000 to fix, knowing how much I've been paying.
Yep.
But yeah, quick $1,000, no problem.
No problem.
Get rid of that.
No big deal.
Sure.
All right. Your HOA is out of control, which I kind of think it is already.
Just a little bit.
Let's just say you got fined $500 because your trash can was, well, I guess you don't have a trash can, you have a dumpster. But let's just say, let's pretend you had a trash can. Your trash can was out for 10 minutes longer than it should have been. You going to give that $500, or are you getting out of here?
I'm going to fight. I'm going to put up a fight, and I'm going to rage until I get my way.
All right.
So you got to fight for your right
to throw out your garbage. I like that. All right, for the nasties out there who were thinking nasty things during Nikki's Valentine's Day story. The previous owner loved mirrors. Mirrors everywhere, on the wall, on the ceiling, even in the shower.
Oh.
Do you embrace the aesthetic, or are they getting ripped down?
They're getting ripped the fuck down, please. I barely look at myself in the mirror. Like, I just can't. I remember, like, when I was very miserable, like, looking in the mirror, I would literally fucking cry because I hated it.
Oh, my God.
We're doing better now.
Yes.
But God forbid, I come out the shower and I see myself. Like, you know, sometimes in the hotels, like, there's literally a mirror. Like, you come out of the shower, especially in AC, right there. You open and you come out and it's like, who the hell is that? No. Rip it. It's getting torn out.
Goodbye. All right. Even nastier, but in a different way. Your whole bathroom is carpeted.
Ugh.
Even worse, the toilet seat is carpeted. Remember those days?
Yeah, right?
What are you doing? You rip it out, or you hightailing it out of here?
It's getting ripped out.
Another $1,000.
Yeah. Yeah.
Down the drain for the bathroom. All right. Ooh. One more. There's a closet full of porcelain dolls. All kinds of porcelain dolls. You didn't put them there. And they seem friendly. But what are you going to do? You going to keep them? Or are you going to keep them there for the next owner to be surprised by them?
I think I would have to hightail it out of here, honestly. I don't fucks with porcelain dolls. I don't fucks with any bad juju, and I just feel like seeing that would be some bad juju.
No.
I'm going to say something, which is, I don't know if I should be saying it or if it's whatever. I'll say it. So, my aunt had a house, and she, in the bathtub, the drain never worked. Like no matter what, like they would have people come in and fix it, and it just would not, like the water would always, like she could never take a bath because the water would always get drained.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it would not get clogged. It just would, like the water wouldn't stay in the tub if she was trying to take a bath. Like it wouldn't. Turns out someone died in the tub from drowning. So, yeah.
Oh, no.
So I would sell. I would not be in that home
There would be
anymore.
bad juju.
Yeah, that was crazy.
In that house. Oh, God. No.
Yeah.
No, I'd get out of there. I wouldn't. It wouldn't. That's something you have to tell somebody before they buy the house.
Really?
I mean,
yeah, I guess.
I would
but
think.
like, if I was trying to get rid of my house, I wouldn't disclose that. Bye.
It's probably not something you're required to tell, but I don't know. I feel like I would feel extremely guilty not telling people. But then I guess I'd be stuck there, so I see your point. Ugh. All right. Well, I think we learned that there's not much you're afraid of trying to fix, Nikki. You really will stick it out.
Yeah.
You'll make it work. You'll figure it out. Is there anything else you want to say about being a homeowner that we didn't cover off on? Anything else from this year that you want the listeners and the viewers to take away from this episode?
I would say follow your heart. With everything that you do is follow your heart. I'm somebody that will talk to 1 million people, ask 1 million people, what do they think? What's their advice? And you have to follow your heart. The only way is to just go through these things. The only way out is just to go through and figure it out. And of course, I had so many people telling me, like, why would you buy a house now? Like, the market is so bad. The interest rates. My interest rate is insane. But I had one person, God bless my Aunt Maddie, who just said, do it.
Yep.
Of course, like, your own parents aren't going to want to see you struggle. They don't want to see you, like, drowning in all these payments.
Yes.
And let me tell you, there was a lot of payments that came up. But, I think if you just know that it's something that you can't get out of your brain and you want to do, go for it, do it. And there's nothing wrong with owning a piece of property.
No.
So take the chance, take the leap, and you figure it out. No matter what, I've always figured it out. As much as, like, everything seemed so detrimental at the time, like with any problem, not just in the home, you figure it out and you go through it, you get through it. So take the chance. If it's something that you cannot get out of your brain, you have to do it.
Yep.
And I could not get it out of my brain for the life of me. It was just something that I needed to do.
I think, like I said, best decision for you. You went with your gut, you went with your heart, and that's all that matters. And you came out better, stronger, happier for it.
Yes.
So, as long as that stays true, you keep going.
Thank you, Anna.
Sure. All right. I think that's a good way to close us out for this one. As I said, Nikki and I got 5 miles to run. So we're going to end it here. But thanks, everyone, for tuning in to another episode of Sip and Spill. If you're watching on YouTube, please drop us a like, a comment, subscribe. If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, drop some likes, give us some comments, share with your friends, and follow us on socials. We are at the Sip and Spill Pod on Instagram and TikTok. That is at the Sip and Like Nikki Spill Pod. Give us a follow. Check out our content. Check out Nikki's recipes that we're about to drop on Instagram.
Yes.
And we will be back next week for another episode. Congrats, Nikki.
Thanks, Anna.
1 whole year.
Thank you, Anna.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.